Phophi the gang. It's a yet another beautiful Saturday and you're sitting with me, Lulah Blue. In my hand, as you can see, I have a book titled Victim. Hopefully you can see it. And today we have the author of Victim, Phophi, who's going to take us through her journey of writing this book, this gender-based violence book, and actually everything that she understands about gender-based violence. Join hands in welcoming Phophi. Welcome to Phophi.
Thank you, Lulu, for having me today.
How are you?
I'm doing great, and you?
I'm great.
Hi everyone, my name is Phophi Matshepete, and I am the author of this book, Victim. So this book is basically just based on gender-based violence. So it revolves around the topic of gender-based violence, and in this book, I'll be basing it on domestic violence.
No, yes. So yes, I haven't had the chance to actually read your book, but from what I understand and what we have spoken about, I think it actually is a good read, and I'm actually going to get myself a copy. Can you please tell us where people can actually find the book?
So if you want the book, you can just contact me on 065 926 8171, and also you can just check me out on my Instagram page where it's Phophi Matshepete. And then you can go to Facebook where it's Phophi Matshepete. And then if you prefer reading the PDF version, you can just go to Amazon KDP and just check my book there.
So the PDF version is also sold as well?
Yes.
Okay. Is it also for 200 Rand?
No, it's 150.
Oh, the PDF version is 150 and this hard copy is 200 Rand. Do you then also pay for courier?
Yes, if you're buying from me and you have to pay for courier, unless you stay nearby, I can just deliver myself.
Okay, that's great. So now that we have spoken about where you can find the book, I want us to dive into the idea behind Phophi writing this book. So could you please tell us what was the journey in actually writing this book? What made you think, let me write this book?
So yes, one thing about me, I love writing, right? So I've been writing like for ever since I was in primary, like stories about princesses, such things, right? So when I went to high school, obviously you start developing emotions and you start seeing things. So I'm very observing, mostly because like I'm an introvert. So I observe things from afar. So I realized that, okay, we have this issue of gender-based violence in our community, in our country, and around the world, right? I'm like, okay, for me, it was a very touching issue, right? So I'm like, okay, let me just share my opinion, what I feel about this, how I view this topic, you see, and how I feel like we can go around it, like solve it, and you see. So I wrote this book when I was in grade 10. I wrote this book when I was in grade 10, the beginning of the year. I wrote this book. It took me about like 4 or 5 months to just complete the whole book in writing, not typing, right? So after that, I typed the book. I had a manuscript. So now the issue, I had to tell my parents, okay, I have a book. So my parents, they were concerned, okay, I'm still studying, I'm still in school. So they asked me to focus on one thing. And the other concern was the finance, right? And we were checking the finance room and we don't have enough money to finish the book, right? Because it's kind of expensive. So I'm like, okay, it's fine, I'll wait. So I waited for 3 years, right? Until my first year. So when I came to varsity, I did some research about the companies. And then I searched the publishing companies around our country. I did research, and then I found one company which I liked. The prices were reasonable. So to avoid being scammed, I had to at least check the authors who publish through that company. So after doing that, I went on the Instagram page, texted all of them, at least 2 responded. I asked them about the experience, how was it working with the company. They were like, it's fine, they explained, I'm like, okay, it's legit. So I texted the company, I emailed the company, they responded with the quotation, and then now I knew, okay, how much I need for my whole book. And it was still the beginning of the year, and by then I had no money. It was about, like let me just tell you the maximum, 9,000. By then I had no money, and I was depending on funding. I was staying in a catering place. So I used to get 290 from this, and my parents used to give me money. So I had to save, you see. So last year I had to save. I deprived myself.
From all the enjoyments and
Yes,
entertainment
you know.
around.
So I saved the whole year. I even stopped buying clothes. Like literally, you see when you come back from varsity your first year, you have to maybe like looking nice. It's okay, you are changing. I didn't buy clothes at all. My parents were shocked. Okay, why aren't you buying clothes? Because you're getting money. You're eating at rest at this part. You have no groceries to buy. Why aren't you buying clothes for yourself? I'm like, I'm saving money. You see, I'm saving money. So I saved. Of course, there was some ups and downs when it comes to saving because okay, I'm still trying to balance money. You know, saving by myself. You see, I was still a first year. It was my first time needing money by myself.
I can imagine.
So it was hard. Like it's
People
really
don't
hard.
buy textbooks.
It was. You see,
They buy iPhones.
it was
They buy
hard.
iPhones,
Honestly, it
yeah.
was hard. So after that, I got enough money. It was around maybe towards the end of the year. My parents were like, no, you can't publish this book like towards your exams because I was still struggling school wise. You see, it was my first year. I was trying to cope. It wasn't nice. Yeah,
The transition was
it wasn't.
huge.
Yeah, I was trying to understand. My parents were like, no, you know what? Just wait. Otherwise, you won't be able to cope with your exams. So it was, for me, it was discouraging because I waited 3 years. Now I have to wait again, you see, and I have the money, I have to wait again. So I was kind of hurt because like it's something I wanted. And one thing about me, when I have a goal, I set time. It's okay. If I'm by this age, by 20, this must be done. You see.
And that is the smartest and the best way to set goals. Because if you just have a goal that does not have a timeline, then chances are you're not going to meet the goal because it's just something that is in the future, and the future is like it's a very long time. You can't determine when exactly is soon or when exactly is the future. So you have to set time because and I like what you did.
Yeah, that's true. So if you have a time limit, by this age, you will be pushed to at least get there, even though maybe like because of challenges it passes, you'll be like, okay, then if this fails by this age, I have to be done by this. So it motivates you at least to get there, you see. So I had that, okay, before the age of 20, you see, I have to be done by this book. In fact, first I had by before the age of 18, it failed, right? I'm like, okay, 20.
This time,
Okay,
20,
20. So I was 19 in my first year. I was 19, right? Yeah, towards the end of the year, I was 19. So sharp, I waited December, I went back home. I called the company. I'm like, I have the money, this full amount. So like, okay, send your manuscript, send your payment. Do you want to send half? And okay, like, let me just start the half because I can't start by full. Let me start the half and see the progress. I paid them half of the amount because it was during weekdays. It took time. It's supposed to take like 3 weeks, something like that. But it took like December, January. So after that, February, I think on the 18th, the book was done. My book was there. Lulah, I was so happy, like my dream. I was so happy. I even cried.
Yes, I cried.
My parents, my father was even hugging me. He's like, I'm so proud of you. Like literally, they were proud, even though they were like concerned before and kind of like worried, you see. But they were happy. It's okay. Her dream came true. So yeah, that's the journey, and then the book was published. I was now an author.
And now you have your first book.
Yeah.
And how are people responding to the book?
Okay. So after the day the book came out, I posted I posted on my statuses and on my status WhatsApp. So because I had many people on WhatsApp, like because last year I was selling a dress, like clothes. People were like amazed, okay, wow, like you're an author at this age. People were shocked. So they were really keen to read the book, right, and to help me advertise. So they posted it. So the book trended. Like that day only I had customers, like about 10 customers. We see from like people were texting me. So the first batch, it was 20 books. They were sold in like, let me just say 3 weeks. They were all gone. You see. So after that, okay, I'm like, let me first do it and do my follow up on okay, how is the book? Okay. And people did give me their input. They were like, yes, they do like the book, and some were like, yeah, they have their own, okay, they would like maybe if this was done on the book, and I understand, right? Some are very impressed with wow, the book is nice. the book is so nice, and some really advise me to, this book would be nice to like read in schools, like for learners. It's so the way it's written, you see. So yeah, those were the critics, and yeah.
That's very interesting. I like the fact that you mentioned the good critics and the bad critics as well, and people's opinions as well. You know, they also do that even with series. People write, they when they do a review, they also write how they would have preferred the series ended. But I understand as the author, you decide what's the beginning, what's the climax, and what's the end, because it's your story. You're the one who's telling it. So I just want to know, maybe the audience is also interested to know, have you ever been a victim of gender-based violence? Have you ever been maybe close to someone who has been a victim of gender-based violence? And in your writing of this book, did you use that experience?
No. I honestly grew up in the most loving family ever. My parents are happily married, and my father is the most loving person. I mean, like, he loves his kids a lot, and he raised me with so much love. And he's the best dad ever. I love my father, guys, a lot.
Shout out to daddy.
Yeah. So I didn't grow up in that environment or hate anyone who grew up in that environment. It's just that I feel like as an author or someone's an author will relate. As an author, it's like you feel those things. Whatever I write, it's like I feel them as I write, as an author, you see. So I can be able to narrate something I did not experience. Because like it's something that I was born to do, to write, you see. So I'm able to put myself in the position because I watch the news, right? I read about things happening, maybe like a woman being killed. Such examples. I'm a woman too, you see, so I can relate in such things. Though I have not experienced such, I'm able to at least relate and write because I can write, and it's something that I believe I was born to do. You see, I'm able to put myself in a scenario and imagine it happening to me and portray it. You see.
I get it. That's very interesting. So what looking at the way gender-based violence is in today, speaking of this, we have experienced the UWC March Against Gender-Based Violence. There has been an app created at the UCT called Kwanele, an app that women are advised to use to report gender-based violence, in terms of they can actually write their case, open a case, I think there, and then also they can write their story, just tell the story of what they experienced. What would you say has changed since the time you wrote your book and now? And yeah, what would you say has changed?
It's sad to say, but I feel like the numbers have increased from the time I wrote this book, grade 10. Maybe like if you check, because I do follow up the news, it has increased more than it was before when I was in grade 10. Right? So it's really sad. As much as there are measures being created, people are marching, people are sharing their stories, people are writing books. Poetry is expressing how this is affecting us as a country. And then we have also Women Month. If you do your research, basically, it shows with you. During August, that's when we have many victims. You see, if you do your research, basically, you will see. So I can say, according to what I have seen, what I have read, the numbers have increased. You see. So now we'll be forced to question the measures being taken. Are they working? If from then and then now they're increasing, are they working? And can we take more measures? You see, from my book, I do indicate the options, the things which I feel like we can do. Yeah? Because okay, we are marching, right? We are marching. People are speaking out. They're activists. Yeah? So for my book, I feel like what I have expressed on my book with you, it starts from the victim. Now let's start with the victim. What do you do as the victim? That's my solution. You see, that's my solution because checking their measures, people are trying to find solutions. We are marching, we are fighting with these people to be arrested. What about the victim? Yeah? Because you will find duty. I'm not judging and I'm not trying to say anything about people are protecting victims or are scared to report because of the various reasons which only they know. You see. So I feel like as a victim, if you're in that situation, stand up. You are worth more. You see, I believe that as an individual, you're not bound to be abused by anyone. You are worth more. So I feel like in these situations we are in, it starts with the victim. If you find yourself in that situation where you are being like abused, stand up and leave. I can't say I understand how you're feeling because I've not been there, but I feel like at this point of time we have to at least talk to victim, reach out to them. You know what, guys, leave.
More like give more support to to victims. But then you do. Sorry, it sounds like I'm arguing with you right now. But then I think it, can't we put measures to avoid someone ending up a victim instead of putting measures to support victims?
I feel like measures have been there, right? For example, we teach, like for example, okay, we can create things like teaching our youth, you know, teaching our high school kids. Maybe if they get to that point where they see this thing is leading to this, they can note the sign, okay, it's leading to this. I feel like those are the measures which you can take beforehand, before it happens, educating our young people, okay, there's this kind of things. And if you see these signs, it's leading there. I feel like those are the measures which we can take
to prevent the
prevent
situations
that.
from
But
happening.
now we have to, what if it's there already? What do we do about that? I feel like as for preventing, we can take those measures. I feel like the measures we can take is through educating our young girls, educating our young men also, and getting to the root of why someone gets to that point. Someone gets to that point of, okay, you feel like you own someone, or you get to the point where you murder someone. So I feel like it starts from a young age. You start rooting it from there, educating our young people. I feel like that's the best solution, one of the solutions you can implement. Start from a young age, educating them, educating them about the situations. And also going to households, like, checking how these things, I feel like as our government or as a community, if you see this thing happening in a household, intervene. I mean, like, as a community, we must take care of each other. I feel like those are the measures to avoid such things. Let's start evoting it to our young people, so they grow up to be like better people. People who are aware of these things.
Do you see yourself married someday?
Yes, I do. I do believe so much in marriage, and yeah, maybe because I grew up in a household where they believe in marriage. So, and where my parents are happily married. So they inspire me, okay, one day I'm going to be married and have my own family.
So that's quite interesting, and I like the fact that you are inspired to get married because your parents actually are married and they have a healthy relationship, and you saw that and you were like, this is good, right? But how do you feel being a young woman in a university space where you are most likely to meet your a partner or someone to date, and seeing that a lot of a lot of young people that are dating nowadays don't solve their problems amicably? It always leads to stabbing. How do you feel dating in such a space, or what do you feel this future of relationships is like?
It's scary. Like, from ever since I was in high school, watching these stories, because there are many ladies who have lost their lives in university, right? So it's really scary because I don't know what will happen to me tomorrow. I don't know, maybe in some years, if I decide to date, I don't know what will happen, or the partner I'm with or I'm gonna be with will decide to one day do that to me, So it's scary because I don't want to come here because I came to study. I came to build something for myself and go back home as a coffee. It's so sad, and my parents are waiting for me to at least come back with something, and then your kid comes back as a coffee, So it's something really painful, and honestly, as a woman and as a person, basically seeing this are happening to individuals, it's scary. As much as I believe love exists, I don't know who I'm gonna meet. I don't know what kind of person I'm gonna meet, or the people I have in my life. They're like how, or my story, So it's scary, honestly. It's really scary, and yes.
I don't know, for some reason I feel like this speaking about this whole situation just I don't know, just makes the world seem like a very, very scary place, especially South Africa, seem like a very scary, scary place. So what we can do at home is make sure that we show support to our friends. We ask them how they are, we ask them how they're doing in relationships. I think that's the least we can do. Try see if someone is hiding something. I have a channel that I could recommend where you guys can watch some um, body language techniques, but learn some body language techniques in which you can use to actually identify when someone is hiding something, when someone is uncomfortable, when something is going on, or when someone is not letting in out everything that is actually going on. I think that could help. So the channel is this one over here, and you guys can just watch and learn so much, because I feel like it's very important for us to know when our loved ones are going through something that they're not telling us about, and it is our duty to actually find out what exactly is going on and try and help them. So do not forget, we are here about this book. It's so beautiful. I love the picture because it shows a man in the background, and in front there is a woman and her eyes are closed. What I like mostly about that closed eyes is because in one of the videos that I'm actually recommending from this behavioral science guy, is that whenever someone is talking and they close their eyes, it's probably to block something. And from what I can see from the picture, I could actually assume that the woman is trying to block her trauma, block whatever is happening. Obviously, you know what is happening with the photograph, but we're not going to focus on that because it's all in the book, and you can find the book in by contacting via the details below. Thank you so much. Would really appreciate your support. She's a young woman from.
I'm from Limpopo in a small community called Chakuma.
How far is it from Toronto?
It's 1 hour.
How between Toronto and Chakuma, which one is the nicest place?
I can say Chakuma is more of like a rural area, and then Tando is more of like where we can find like shops, many shops. You see, it's more of our town.
Oh, so you go to
you have to buy there.
So you travel an hour to town.
Yeah, but now our area is developing. They just built a mall. They just opened a mall like a few months ago, I think.
That's very interesting. You haven't been to the mall?
No, I have been here, so I haven't seen the mall.
Exactly, so very excited to go back home and see the mall. Yeah. So what are some of the challenges as a young woman? Also, I mean, having published a book, that also means that you are selling the book and selling entrepreneurs, right? So what are some of the challenges in entrepreneur that you faced in terms of distributing and selling the book?
Okay, firstly, marketing, right? Marketing is not easy, guys. It's not easy at all. So since it's my first time publishing a book, I don't know where to start basically with marketing. So yes, I did try out different things. The first thing I did was to post on my status. At least it blew up. People pre-posted, you see, and then people bought the book. And then I sold like about 20 books at first, right? But for me, because I spent a lot on this, I'm like, at least I want more. And also just to pass the message. Because this book is about something which for me means a lot. You see. It's not only about the money, to be honest. It's about passing the message to other people. See. So I'm like, okay, what do I do to advertise this thing? Okay, I spoke to my mom. She was very supportive. She's like, okay, because she's currently doing her own thing that way. She's like, okay, I will show my colleagues this book. So she went around going to people, here's my kid's book. She did this houses, sister houses. She was doing that actually for me. She went to our university home, Univen, if you know it. Yeah. She went there, she's like, yeah, this is my kid's book. Please buy it. Please buy it. And they bought. She sold about how many books? About 15 by herself. So she was very supportive. And then things got stuck. I didn't know what to do because I was posting on Instagram, no one was replying. Okay, I am like, okay, let me try interviews. So yes, I requested interviews from various radio stations. I went to the one at home. I'm sure some of you know it, Para FM. I did send my an email to them explaining who I am, what I wrote. and they did reply to, okay, they will do an interview with me. So it was my first interview, and I was so nervous. One thing about me, I'm an introvert, right? And I'm very shy, and I'm not that fluent when it comes to speaking. Hence, I write because speaking, I struggle, right? Yeah, it's part of my genes.
It's okay. There's nothing wrong with you like that.
So yeah, I was so nervous, but it went well. And yeah, it was marketing. It only brought a few attention, but at least some people know about me, about like the message I'm sending, right? So I was happy. It's all about the message, basically. Okay, it's fine. I'm like, okay, let me try other radio stations around here, because the one Parapara, it's mostly like people who listen to it. It's from our province, right? And mostly like my area, you know. So okay, man, it's broad. Okay, sharp. I came this side. I did send to various radio stations, Jozi FM, Metro FM. You know, like I was trying my luck. Just anything is fine. Whatever pops up, it's fine. At least one replied, I'm Jozi FM. So I went there. When we went to Jozi FM, did the interview. Things went well. Okay, so the challenge that I faced, I had to do, okay, someone called me while listening to the interview. I was like, okay, they will like working with me, you see. Okay, I was impressed by what they're saying, you see. It's okay, they want to work with me. I'm like, okay, sharp, what can we do? I made a contract. Okay, I'll give you this much, you sell this much, right? And then, okay, I met with the individual. She signed and I signed. I agreed. I gave her a few books for testing. You see, the issue is like the person left with the money.
They sold the books
and then took the money. You see, it was the most painful thing. Imagine, as much as something that I worked hard for. It's my work.
And you've waited for so long.
It's my work, you see, and I waited for so long to do this. So I was really hurt. It took me time to really accept it's fine. I was broken. Trust me, I didn't find myself crying. I spoke to my parents, I tried speaking to the person, it failed. They were like, you know what, okay, it's fine. Just leave it. Accept it, okay, it's a lesson. It's part of business, guys. It's part of business. There's laws with it. And just remember, Uchi, why you're doing this book. This book is about you passing the message. Remember what you told me. You want just to pass the message. So don't worry about the money you lose. Accept. Within life we lose, some we win. You see? So after that I accepted and I became okay. It's fine. That's it. So yeah, right now I'm trying to recover, finding ways to back at the book. You see? I'm back on now, fully back on. You see?
Anyway, I hope there are no scammers watching this video right now as we talk, because obviously we're going to leave your details and they're going to try contact you. I am really hoping that we don't have anyone who's on our audience who is waiting to scam you, because that's really bad, because everyone is just out there they're hustling, everyone is hustling. And if you taking food from someone's mouth, then what you're not doing, you're not living as a I don't know, as a fair person, because they don't need to know your story to understand that whatever they're doing is hurting you as well. So I don't know, there are lines to report scammers, but that never works. But anyway, let's just hope that in the future, when you are doing business with people, there are measures that you've already discovered that you can actually put in place to discover more. Because I like mostly that even before publishing the book, you did background check and you confirmed whether this person is right. And I'm hoping that whenever you come into have a contract to someone who wants to market your book for you, you can also be able to do background check and they're going to be able to help you. So I'm very much interested in sitting here and talking to you and talking more about the book. I'm hoping that there's more information where this came from. Should we be expecting a new book anytime soon?
Anytime soon, no. I wanna first really market this book. I believe it's gonna go far, right? So I wanna first find ways. Like right now, I wanna join like pageants because I feel like that's where I'm gonna find more women. I'm gonna find more people who are gonna hear me out. My plan, my ideas, my motive. you see. So I wanna join pageants. I'm working on that. Currently working on that. And mind you, I haven't done anything like that
before. You want to try.
I wanna try, and I'm going to.
And you
Me.
should. Yes, you should. You should.
And I
You owe
am.
it to yourself to try. You know, because at the end of the day, it's better that you tried than never haven't tried.
Yeah.
I once heard a story. I don't know whether it's true or they made it up just so that we get the message what they were trying to say. That when there was I think a man who lay on his grave bed, on his deathbed, and he was about to die, and he was surrounded by all the dreams that he wanted, all the wishes he had, and all the dreams that he had not like manifest, like he had not achieved. So all these things were around him, and there were like a lot of things, and he regretted never having lived and never having pushed himself that far. So I believe if you want to push yourself to that industry, go for it. At least you know you've been there, and I really hope. I wish all the best for you, and we're going to follow you on Instagram, on Facebook, and follow your journey. Hopefully, we're going to have your back to inspire us and to warn us about scammers as well. Hopefully, we will not have another story of scammers. It will just be that story only.
Yeah, I like what you said about the grave story. You know, there are many graves with unreached potential. You see, I like what you say about the grave thing, right? Hence I always say if you want something, go for it. Doesn't matter the age, because you don't know when we are gonna pass this world, because it's part of life, it's part of our journey. The time that you have, use it wisely.
True.
If a dream comes upon you, okay, I want to do this, don't delay it. Just fight to do it as soon as possible. You see, no matter the age, it's possible. So to avoid us dying or leaving the world with unleashed potential, because I believe with you, we all have different things to give up to the world. You see, if something comes into your mind, follow it.
True.
You see, and try to unleash it. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do with the pageant things. And as for other books, I am gonna publish more books after this. Just that I wanna market this book. This book, I feel like it has a message.
It does.
And I want to go everywhere.
And the message is going to last way longer than this, because as long as we're still fighting this pandemic, this book is very much relevant, and it will be forever relevant, because you've created something that will outlive you. Great, that's very amazing. And I appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me also.
I can't keep you. I'm glad you came, and I don't want to keep you any longer because I want you to go home and visit the mall.
Yeah, I have to.
I have to go home and visit the mall. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you too. Like, I'm happy I came here, honestly.